Lego Marvel has this awesome new set from the Civil War movie, which is number 76314, Captain America's Civil War Battle, which happened at the airport. It does come with quite a few characters: Cap and Iron Man, of course, Spider-Man, Falcon, Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, Black Panther, and the Winter Soldier, and technically Ant-Man as well, but as Giant Man. In my opinion, I prefer this one from the original Civil War airport scene because that one actually looked like a big minifigure, but this one moves a bit better in my opinion. I like it, and this was an exciting set because I got those characters for the first time. Also, Falcon, a very nice looking Spider Man, and some variants on Cap and Iron Man, a Giant Man, and Bucky. And here on the back of the box, you can see some of the play features. So there is that invisible piece that Lego likes to do, which I absolutely love. It makes it look like he's swinging from behind. You can also put Falcon at the back, and then there's some things you can just like tumble over, which I'm not really going to use. And this really cool feature here, which works well with displays where Iron Man is flying from above, or Black Panther jumping towards Cap, and then this little stand for the little plane that Bucky is in. But funny enough, in the movie, that plane was much bigger for both Cap and Bucky to fit, and here they definitely both can't fit. So it would have been nice if it was bigger, or maybe actually include a Boeing plane. That would have made it really awesome. And then, of course, there's Scarlet Witch with her pink magic. And here is, oh, sorry, and then this one as well is Falcon, where you can clearly see that he's also flying, which is a pretty cool feature to have. And here is the set. And wait a minute. That's Vision. I thought he's not included in the set. Wait, let me see. Oh, that's because I got him from My Blockies. My Blockies is a guy here in South Africa that makes Lego compatible minifigures with great detail. This one is actually from Infinity War or Endgame, which you can see has a really nice looking cape. If I can take him down over here, you can actually see that he has quite some nice detail. And I added this little yellow thing on his head for fun. It makes it look like he's using the Infinity Stone. He's got nice arm printing, leg printing, and a really nice looking cape, and even back printing. And yeah, I don't know why Lego couldn't include Vision, but I got him. And I also included War Machine, which is not included in this set. This I got from the Mech Suit Lego set to have War Machine also part of the battle. And then back there, you can actually see Ant-Man, which is not included in the set, but that I also got from My Blockies. And even this smaller Ant-Man, which is on the hand, let me just focus, there we go, on the hand of Black Widow, because he actually did shrink and fight with Black Widow, so it's a reference to that scene in the movie. And also there is Hawkeye. This is actually from a 2012 set, which included Loki and Iron Man, and I included him here because for some reason Lego doesn't always include Hawkeye. Like in the new set with the Marvel logo, he's not in it, so I thought, why not put Hawkeye here? Because he was in the movie and he played an important role. And there, of course, is the Spider-Man. And then, who's this? That is Deadpool. And this is a very unique looking Deadpool because I also got him from My Blockies, which has some really cool detail. There are some videos that people made making it look as if Deadpool was in the Civil War battle. And then I kind of made a reference to that. As you can see, he's got golden guns, some nice arm printing, and leg printing on the side. You can even see it looks like he has a holster for his gun, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, he has the swords at the back, which can actually slide in and out. And then there's the side, and then this can come off with his face, Wade Wilson, and even the back has some detail. So I included Deadpool here because it's very much a Deadpool thing to just pop up randomly at some places. So I put Deadpool here for my own display of this Civil War set. So Deadpool is unfortunately not included in this set, but let me just show you the ones that are not included, which I really thought Lego could have included them because otherwise the set feels incomplete. This is War Machine. As you can see, it's Rhodey under the mask. No second face at the back. Not really leg printing on the back, but there is quite nice leg printing on the front. This is from the mech suit set that you can get Rhodey in, and the mech suit does look pretty good. I'll do a separate review on that one specifically, but obviously it makes sense to have him in this set as he was also in the movie. And then next up we have Ant-Man, who was also briefly in the movie, and this is one from my blockies, which I will link in the description below. And you can see there he's got really nice printing all over. My blockies really does a swell job making these figures very detailed, and it's Lego compatible. Just needs to remove his head here. Sometimes it struggles a bit with the removing of it, but there you see Scott, and okay, nothing at the back. But this is Ant-Man, which is great because I've always wanted an Ant-Man, and it just makes sense in this set to include him. And of course, speaking of Ant-Man, this I got from, I believe it was the CMF collectible minifigures, where it's that variant Ant-Man. And I actually got 2 of these accidentally. So this is an actual Ant-Man, which I think works great for this set. So then it's the actual small one, the medium-sized one, and the big one. And then next up, we have Black Widow, who is included in this set with her 2 guns, or she's holding it a bit differently. I can't remember what you call those things, but it's those things that police sometimes use as weapons. I think it might be something like that. She does have a back face and some nice back printing, and of course her more chilled face. So I will actually do this one for the battle, and nice looking hair. And then we have Captain America, who is of course included in this set because it's a Civil War Captain America 3 movie set, so obviously he's included. You do get his face there and a more happy one at the back. This one includes like the straps, which is quite cool, and then you put this on and it looks pretty nice. Or if you want it the other way around, it does look like that, but this makes more sense to me because it's Civil War. Of course, you do get his nice shield, which I really like, and some nice back printing, and not any leg printing, unfortunately, which is unfortunate considering that it's from Civil War. But nonetheless, you do get Captain America, and of course Iron Man is rivalry in the movie, and Iron Man does of course open up here, which is so cool because this mask, or his face, looks like he's inside of the suit with that blue detail, which I really like. And of course you do get his face at the back looking a bit more normal. I really like the back of his torso, which looks quite nice. And of course the front is equivalent to the Civil War movie, and some nice detail there on the legs. And then you can just pop this on, and then it opens and closes, which is really cool. And then you get this nice piece here, which you can use for him blasting his from his suit, which I think is a really cool thing that Lego does. It actually looks like he's flying and shooting something out of his hand. Then we get Hawkeye, which is not included in this set. I got this from a 2012 set, and there's also a variant my blockies does have on Hawkeye with a bit more detail, but nonetheless, Hawkeye deserves to be in this set, so I included him. He does have a face here at the back as well, and this one that I have at the front, and of course his bow and arrow, and a bit of printing on the back, as you can see. And then his one hand is without a glove, the other one is with a glove, which I think is a cool detail from the 2012 set. And then we have Scarlet Witch, or Wanda Maximoff. You can see her magic in her hands, and a bit of an angry face, and a more chilled face. There's angry and chilled. Those are the 2 emotions. And then at the back, it looks like that on her torso. And there's not any leg printing, unfortunately. That would have been nice. I always like leg printing and arm printing, but that doesn't always seem to be the case. And another one that you get in this set is Black Panther. Obviously, you can get him in quite a few sets, in the mech suit one, or the one with his sister, or in this set. And there are other sets where you can also get Black Panther, which looks really cool at the back, as you can see, and his nice torso behind. No leg printing, unfortunately, but you do get these claws, which looks exactly like the claws from Wolverine. So technically, he's a Wolverine variant, but obviously that's not true. These are just claws, as he's the Black Panther, because the claws come out of his hands. So he looks pretty cool, and he's also my first Black Panther, so I was really excited to get him in this set. And then one of my favorites, which is obviously one of the main reasons I went to watch the movie back in 2016, is Spider-Man. And this Spider-Man is pretty cool because he actually comes with arm printing, which looks really nice. This is the suit that Tony Stark made him. And what's funny is that he has really nice arm printing. And so far, none of the other minifigures have any arm printing whatsoever. So it's funny that Spider-Man seems to be the only one who has decent arm printing, even though it wasn't his movie. But nonetheless, he looks really cool here from behind. Even his legs have some really nice printing to distinguish the blue and red. I think they did a really good job on Spider-Man, and definitely one of the main reasons why I got this set. And then I'm gonna just bring Giant Man over here, and we get Falcon, who is also my first Falcon that I got. He does have two guns, and he's got his wings here that can fold a bit backwards and forwards. He has no arm printing, but he does have a bit of nice leg printing, and he doesn't have an extra face at the back. It just has that, and then of course his hair just came off. And this is Red Wing, which you can actually detach, and then you can pretend that it's flying around, but it's just one piece. And this was actually a sticker. I think they should have made this a printed piece because I printed it a little skew. But nonetheless, that is a pretty cool detail. It's the first movie that you do see Red Wing. So that is Falcon. He looks pretty nice. Quite like this figure. And then the other one that I wanted to show you here in the little jet is Bucky. Technically, he's the only other one who has special arm printing because of his robot arm, and then the black one refers to his glove, and then his other hand is just open. He does have a nice back there and another face, and this more angry face and nice looking hair. He doesn't come with a gun or anything like that, but of course you can just always add that yourself. And then lastly, who is here is Giant Man. Let me just quickly pick this up, and then let's go over to Giant Man. So Giant Man, I put this piece here on the right on myself to attach the flying vision to make it look more cool. But Giant Man, he can move his head like that, which is pretty nice, and his arms can move quite a lot, which is really, really cool. It can go up and down like that. It's a lot like the mech suit's hands that can open and close like that, which is pretty cool on both sides. And then this is what his feet look like. So this can all bend. This can open for some reason. I don't know why his kneecaps can be exposed. But nonetheless, on the back, this is what it looks like. So you can move this around, and this is for Falcon or Spider-Man to swing around him from behind, and even this torso can move from side to side, which is quite nice. So I think it's a lot more mobile than the original one. So I quite like the feature they did here, and that's why I included the actual Ant-Man and minifigure, because it just makes sense to have them as well, because he actually was the small size, the medium size, and the Giant Man size. But as for the set itself, you do get this little plane that you saw briefly, which includes only a space for one minifigure, unfortunately. But it does have two spring loaders on the side, which shoots out orange studs. And then this is a nice thing you can put there. Those are stickers. There was quite a few stickers. All of these are also stickers. And it has the Avengers logo on both sides with the green light and the red light on that side. And some nice wings here at the back. And then I don't think it can move much other than that. And then it has a bit of wheels, as you can see. and then it's basically just that. So it is cool. I do wish that if they had gone all out with this set to make this thing big enough to fit at least 2 minifigures, just like in a movie, and to include Vision, Ant-Man, small Ant-Man, Hawkeye, and War Machine would have been great to include, since it was the Civil War. So it felt a little incomplete not having those minifigures, but nonetheless, here is the actual set, which is obviously without the minifigures. So this is originally not in the set. I just took this longer one in order to include this for War Machine. This is the web included in the set for Spider-Man, and then there are some of these things and the play feature, which I don't really use a lot because then I have to just put it back. So I'm just gonna keep it like that. And I do have these little pieces of fire around the set where it shows a little bit of the explosions and stuff that took place, so it's a cute detail. And then of course this thing can turn around for the jet, but it can only move so much with the jet on it, so it can only move a little bit. And this is the part where Iron Man goes on top of it to be able to fly, and there's more space over here where you can put those invisible pieces there and there for characters to fly or jump. Or I can maybe take this one and I can perhaps take this and put it in there. That's another way I can display it if I want to. From the back it looks like this, so there's not much to show here. It's a little bit of a mug here. I would also say that if they had made the set slightly bigger, they could have included an actual airplane, or maybe one of those terminals where it's something like that, where it's a little piece of a building of the airport, and you can recreate the scene where Spider-Man and Falcon and Bucky were fighting. There we go. Bucky were fighting. That would have been cool. Maybe buy a Lego City set and then you can complete it in that way. That would have been nice. Or that thing that Spider-Man caught while fighting Captain America, where it connects towards the plane, would have been nice. And the fact that Ant-Man was on a plane and then increased to Giant Man would have been a really nice touch. So it is a really nice set, but those things I definitely would have liked in the set as well. But overall, given the fact that you do get a Giant Man as well as Scarlet Witch, Black Widow, let me just put this guy down over here. You do get quite a lot of figures, and the Spider-Man has some really nice detail. Captain America looks great. Iron Man has some awesome detail, and Bucky looks awesome. Black Panther is, of course, always a fun one to have, and Falcon. If you look at it like this, there is quite a few figures included, but if you look here, it's about 5 that they could have included to make the set more complete. I mean, Vision took out Rhodey, and Hawkeye has been part of the original Avengers. Why couldn't they just include him? That would have been great. And of course, War Machine is Tony's best friend. It would have made sense to include him in the set as well. And the fact that Ant-Man was in the movie and he was shrinking and increasing in size, it would have made so much sense to just include him in the set. So I don't always know why Lego does it. They probably do it to force you to buy the other sets to get specific characters, but they could have really included all of the minifigures. Then it would have looked a little something more like this, which looks so much more impressive. If you look at that, that would have made a lot of sense to me. But overall, I would give this set a solid 8 out of 10. I would have given it more, but it would have definitely reached a 10 out of 10 if it included these extra minifigures that were in the movie, and if they made the jet bigger and the playground a bit more bigger and included an actual plane and a little area for another airport part. It would have probably been more expensive, obviously, but it would have been worth it. But nonetheless, you can always just go to My Blockies and get yourself some really nice customized minifigures with great detail, as you can see. So those are really nice. And yeah, Deadpool made his cameo. So he's also fighting in this Civil War, even though he wasn't really there. But this set is a solid set. I definitely recommend getting it, and some extra minifigs to complete your Civil War airport battle.